Hey everyone, welcome to our 102nd episode of BrewTalk with Mr. Beer. My name is Robert Lewis. I will be your host for today's show. As always, we appreciate you guys taking the time to tune in and watch all of our videos. If you want to reference our notes for this video or any of our past videos, you can find those on our blog page, mrbeer.com/blog. A bunch of other cool written blog posts on there, recipes, a lot of information, some beer history, all kinds of fun stuff. It's a cool place to just check out and find some cool stuff. So today's topic is how to use a bottling wand and what are the benefits of using one. Obviously the bottling wand, if you've used it, it's a very useful tool. If you haven't, now you know it's very useful. We often get, asked how to use it or is it required to use it. It's not required in the bottling process, but it does make the bottling process a whole lot easier. So before we dive into how to actually use it, I want to talk about just some of the quick benefits that kind of help you and why you should use it. The first one is just makes bottling easier. You can leave your spigot open the entire time you're bottling. You don't have to push it or turn it each time and hold the bottle up there and try and let the beer flow into the bottle. All you gotta do is push your bottle against the bottom of the wand, fills up with beer. So it's just less movements, less process, less wiggling with things, makes it a little easier. I think the second is is the main reason why I think you should use it, is that it helps reduce the amount of oxygen that you can get in your beer caused from bottling. When you're using the bottling wand, you're filling your bottles from the bottom up, so that beer is not coming in from the spigot and flowing down into the bottom of the bottle. And when it does that, it can kind of splash at the bottom and churn up a little bit. I think we've done a video about this in the past, but that can create build up oxygen in your beer, which can oxidize your beer, which can create a bad off flavor, kind of like a wet cardboardy flavor. So the bottling wand helps reduce that and kind of just makes it easy. It flows smoother, reduces risk for all that, any type of off flavors you can have there. So now let's dive into kind of how to use it. So depending on when you get your beer kit, if you have one we kind of have two spigots. So I got examples today, so we're going to show and tell. So we have one which is like our barb spigot, and then we have one that's kind of the flat spigot with the push top. So we're going to show you how to use it on both, just in case you don't have one. Our current spigot that we are selling is the barb spigot. This is our newest one. You can find these if you want one on our website. Just go to the equipment page and they're all in there just for those who are curious about it. So we'll do the push down spigot first. I'm going to put my notes down here, get my spigot. So with this, your bottling wand will come with a rubber attachment, like you can see on this wand here, which is this piece up here. With this one, you do not need it because it just slides right into the bottom. So what you want to do is basically how to assemble it is, you have your spigot here, it sits on your fermenter. You're just going to shove it right into that hole. You're going to make sure you shove it up in there kind of tight so it will stay. Always let it sit for a few seconds, make sure it doesn't fall off. Can't happen sometimes. Just keep pushing it in there. Use all your muscles, get it real nice and tight. So now, once it is in there, you're good to go. So what you're going to do is you're going to flip open your spigot top. And what that's going to do is you're going to start seeing beer right away. It's going to just fill this thing up. It's going to fill up your bottling wand. And once it fills all the way up, then you know it's good to go. It's ready to bottle. So bottling with this is very simple, kind of like I talked about earlier. What you're going to do is you're just going to shove your bottle to the bottom. And you can see here on the bottling wand, we have this black little valve. It's like a spring valve in there. So once you put pressure on it, it's going to push up that covering and let beer flow through there. Shove this up, you're going to push your bottle up to the bottom. And right when you push on it, it's going to start filling up with beer. It's going to fill from the bottom all the way to the top. And then, the unique thing about this is you don't have to close your spigot when you're done. You just leave it open, take your bottle out, put your lid on it, and then no beer will come out. Hopefully you should be good to go there. So that's how you use that one. Now the barb spigot is pretty much the same way. This one you will use the rubber attachment that comes here with it, because this will do is a rubber attachment will actually slide over the ends of the barbs. You're gonna make sure it's nice and tight there. Give it a few seconds, make sure it's nice and tight, give it a gentle pull, make sure you're good to go. And then what you want to do is you'll want to turn it. So the other ones that flip up, these are swivels to open and close. So you want to open it. I think I have it off. So now it's on. You want to open it, then again, it'll start filling up with beer. Once it gets all the way filled to the top, then you're good to go with your bottling, and same exact process. Shove it in, push it down to the plastic. You'll see the beer start filling up from the bottom all the way up, and you're good to go. So it's a pretty straightforward process. It's very simple. It's very easy to use. I like the bottling ones a lot. They work really well. We use them all the time in the office, so it just makes the whole process a lot easier. A few tips I wanted to point out when using your bottling wand. Always put a small bowl underneath it if you're bottling on top of like your countertop, because every once in a while it will drip. It's just bound to happen. You got beer all over the place, so just put a drip or put a bowl under there. It'll catch any drips, and if something happens where the wand falls out or something starts leaking, at least you got something there to catch it so it doesn't make a giant mess. You can flip your spigot off real quick to stop the flow. Make sure you sanitize your wand. That's very important, but run sanitizer through the entire wand. So when you're sanitizing it, make sure that you put it into your sanitizing solution. Make sure you're running some through, so usually you can kind of push the spring in and soak some in and let it run through. Make sure you're taking it apart when you clean it. So if you take your wand apart, you just have a, probably hard to see, but you have a spring and a little black valve there. So you want to make sure you're cleaning those. When you're done, you're rinsing those. They just drop right back in there. Spring drops right back in. I don't remember which side was the bottom. We'll go with that one, and then you put it in. It should fit the both ways. And also, so when you're filling your bottles, I think this is what helps a lot, because a lot of people always wonder how much to fill their beer bottles, and the bottling wand helps that a lot. So what I usually do is once the bottling wand's in here, you're filling it up. The bottling wand's taking up some space in the bottle, so I usually fill up the beer to right around the bottom of this neckline here. And once you pull your wand out, it's going to kind of drop that level to be about the perfect level for each of your bottles are filled. This will kind of help you also get more consistent fills throughout the entire batch. Sometimes if you're doing it by hand, you might have some that have a little more beer, some have a little less beer. Using the bottling wand definitely helps prevent that. So it's a useful tool, works a lot. I definitely recommend it. You can find that on our equipment and accessories page. I think it's only a couple dollars. So if you haven't got one, throw it in your next order and check it out. That's going to wrap it up. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Hopefully I didn't ramble on too fast. If you did enjoy the video, please make sure to like it or comment on the video or share it wherever you can share it. We really appreciate that. Make sure you're following us on all social media channels. We're at Mr.Beer on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube is where we are most active. And if you want to learn more about Mr.Beer, you can join our Facebook group, Mr.Beer's Brewing Society. It's full of awesome home brewers, a lot of Mr.Beer brewers, a lot of people here that are in the office, myself, Zach, and Ashley are all part of that group. So we really appreciate it. And yeah, just answer the 3 questions. We'll let you in. If you don't answer them, we won't let you in. Pretty straightforward. Make sure you're checking out our sale this week. Today's National Beer Day. Should have been drinking a beer. I didn't even think about that. I will have a beer after this. Don't worry. So make sure you check out our website. 15% off everything running today through Monday. So don't miss on that. Great time to get a bottling wand on sale. So yeah, let's wrap it up, and I'll talk to you guys next week. Cheers.